I know what it looks like. So our fourth prepared speech for tonight is by Mark Richards, DTM. And Mark is doing Pathways, Presentation Mastery, Level 2, Introduction to Toastmaster Mentoring. And it's a 5 to 7 minute speech. The title of the speech is The King of Aphorisms. And as an introduction, Mark was paralyzed in 1998 due to a rare medical accident. It took years to feel comfortable with his new normal. He had the good fortune to be mentored by one of the most innovative clinical exercise psychologists in the country, learning how to master the art of using his new body and maintaining a positive outlook. Please join me in welcoming Mark to the stage with the story of hope.
Have you ever had the good fortune of meeting somebody that was so important to you that you can't even imagine what your life would be like if you hadn't met that person? I had that good fortune. 3 years after I was paralyzed, I started going to CSUN's Center of Achievement and met Taylor Isaacs. Taylor, as a former professor of kinesiology, became a clinical exercise physiologist. What does that mean? He practiced working with people with disabilities, helping them get better at managing their life, especially through exercise. 3 things that I'm going to talk about today are the fact that he used his wisdom through experience to enhance the lives of everyone that he came in contact with. And he helped train me and train people for results. And he did all of this by motivating people with aphorisms. Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, Taylor is an amazing man. He right now runs a private practice. And before that, he was, as I mentioned, a professor. He was a professor of kinesiology, which is movement of the body. He actually has done 7 whole body dissections. And it's just amazing to know how well he knows the human body. It's amazing. He's got lots of credentials that help people understand that he has been through the training that is necessary to do what he does. And his clients, I've met scores of people that have made incredible advances in how they move and in how they have enhanced their life. As far as training, I had the good fortune to start working with him in 2001. And one of the very first things he did was realize that I had very poor posture. And there's a good reason for that. Being paralyzed, I lost the musculature in my abdomen and in my lower back. I started developing a really weird curvature of the spine. But through exercise and dedication, I was able to help straighten my spine up and remain vertical and become stronger. And one of the things that I really, really liked about one of his practices is that he helped me and everyone else learn how to exercise properly. Folks, I don't know about you, but I've been exercising my whole life. I didn't know that there was a specific and a proper way to do certain types of exercises. I'll give you an example. When you're doing any kind of exercise, say, let's say a chest press, where you're pushing a bar out in front of you, the key is to go out 2 seconds and go back very slowly for 4 seconds. Because going back, the opposite of the push is actually where you build the muscle. And I didn't know that. A lot of people probably don't. So he taught me and everyone else proper ways to exercise. My favorite thing, though, was that in 2003, I was fitted for long leg braces, meaning they were a very wild contraption that fitted around my waist, went down my legs, and ended at my feet. And they locked at the hips and they locked at the knees. And with his expertise in body movement and exercise. I'd already started to get strong, and now I was able to stand and start walking with forearm crutches. Now, walking is not the end of the world. I mean, it's kind of overrated, actually. I mean, I can get from point A to point B rolling with my wheelchair, but standing up after sitting for 5 years was an amazing experience. He challenged me in 2003 in August to walk the final couple hundred feet at the 2005 LA Marathon in March. Pardon me. I spent the next 18 months walking 3 times a week at home and at the gym where he practiced his work. And I got to the point where I was confident that I could do that little exercise. A few months before the LA Marathon, I contacted the officials and we were able to get onto the race. I stood up and walked 200 feet before the end of the finish line, raised my hands up in a victory V to the cheers of crowds. And I'll tell you, it was really, really something. One of the things that's real interesting about my mentor, Taylor, is that he speaks in aphorisms. Aphorisms are terse, cute little sayings that have meaning, and he actually speaks almost fluently in aphorisms, scores of them that I've collected over the years. My favorite are the 10 most powerful 2-letter words in the English language. If it is to be, it is up to me. That had such an incredible impact on my life that I realized that it's up to me, and it's up to you too. You want something, no one else is going to do it for you. I was so impacted by that phrase and by his mentorship that when I wrote my book in 2014, I put it on the title page. Some others he always spoke with liquid fire and verbal rocket fuel. It was just amazing to hear the guy speak. Some others that I really enjoyed: wake up every day with victorious pep in your step and slide in your glide. One of the things that he always told us is to do the right thing, but do the thing right. When you go to the gym, that's the right thing, but are you doing the thing right? And that applies to so many aspects of our lives, doesn't it? He always told us that when you exercise, you become fit in the body, high in the spirits, and ready in the mind. Exercise became a central part of my life, and hopefully it could become part of your life too, because when you exercise, all of these things come true. Motion is lotion. Movement is improvement. And folks, you've heard this before, rest is rust. We don't want to be sitting around. We want to be exercising and moving, just like Taylor taught me. He became my mentor, and some of the words and philosophies that he has, I've hopefully imparted to you. One last one: if you want to get thinner, diminish your dinner. Folks, in summary, I hope that you have a mentor that's as powerful as the one that I found working with Taylor, and that you too can be impacted in a way that you can't even imagine how your life would be without the influence that he had on you. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Mark. Very inspiring and